You know, isn't that part of the problem of having quarterly financial goals and annual numbers and plans, and we get this sort of very short-term perspective on performance, which is, it's not necessarily for the better good. I heard somebody call the best perspective the cathedral mindset. I love that idea, that many of the people who were laying the foundations of a cathedral or doing certain parts of the building cathedral would never see it finished. But they knew they were contributing to something more than themselves, something bigger and better. Feels like it's quite aligned with Simon Sinek's work around the infinite game. It's not about competition, it's joining in something that you become part of. And I think what we start to move into is, we've talked a lot, and a lot of the literature's out there about how do you balance intuition and body and mind and thinking and objective. How do you manage those things in decision making? And what we've not even touched on is, what about character and what about values, and how do they influence the way that we might make decisions, either as an individual or collectively, let's say as part of a culture? Because again, if we believe that decisions ultimately add up to the person we become, is this decision a vote for the future me or not? Because often we will make decisions that are about the today me, but we all know, especially the coaches in the room, a lot of the work, the difficult, the hard, meaningful work that people want to do is understanding their purpose and what that purpose looks like when it's expressed in a future reality, and trying to work from that future identity rather than this current identity. Well, if that's where we're trying to get to, one question might be, is this decision a vote for the future me or not? And I think you could wrap that in at a cultural level, organisationally, or an individual level. Wouldn't it be cool if some of our politicians actually started to make some decisions based on perhaps stronger values or a more cathedral mindset? We know, right, and this is not a political statement, we know that the NHS is challenged in the UK. We know that it's struggling, the people in it are struggling, and yet nobody really wants to have the conversation that probably needs to be had there, because it's a very difficult one. But imagine if all the politicians and all the key stakeholders and all the individuals who were influential on the decisions around our NHS took a cathedral mindset to it. I reckon we might get a different answer in terms of what's the right things to do both today and for the future.